Greetings to one and to everyone. Welcome back as we continue our reading through the Bible. In the book of Genesis, we are right now. And you know, this is that chronological format that we're reading from the Blue Letter Bible, the Blue Letter Bible chronological daily reading plan. That's who compiled this format of reading that we're doing. And of course, I am your brother William, and we are reading the Bible. Now, we are in the book of Genesis, and we're going to be concluding Genesis in the next couple of days. So this is chapters 38, 39, and 40 that we're in today. And this is the reading for Wednesday, October 5th, 2022, day 25 in our Quest at 365. Of course, Genesis chapter 38 will be in the first part of this two-part episode, and then 39 and 40 in the next part 2. Amen. We thank God for his word and pray that he bless each and every one of us. Chapter 38 in the book of Genesis. Now we know 36, 37 that was talking about what was going on with Jacob and his brother and his sons selling Joseph into slavery, selling Joseph to the Midianites, and then the Midianites sold Joseph into slavery to Potiphar. But 38 is going to just talk about Judah and Tamar, and then in 39 we'll go back into Joseph and his what looks like fall but rise to become one of the leaders in Egypt. Chapter 38 in the book of Genesis, and starting at verse 1, this is the New King James Version. Amen. It came to pass at that time that Judah departed from his brothers. It's talking about Judah. Judah departed from his brothers and visited a certain Adulamite whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua. And he married her and went in to her. So she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she conceived yet again and bore a son, and called his name Shelah. He was at Kezib when she bore him. Then Judah, verse 6, took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. I did not know that. Let's read that verse 7 again. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. And Judah said to Onan, Go into your brother's wife and marry her, and raise up an heir to your brother. But Onan knew that the heir would not be his. And it came to pass, when he went into his brother's wife, that he emitted on the ground, lest he should give an heir to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Therefore he killed him also. Verse 11. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown. For he said, Lest he also die like his brothers. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Now, in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up to his sheep shearers at Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar in verse 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, Look, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep. I'm not sure why they told her that. So she took off her widow's garments, covered herself with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which was on the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given to him as wife, like what was expected. So I guess she said, I'm going to make something happen here. Verse 15, when Judah saw her, now he doesn't recognize her. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot because she had covered her face. Then he turned to her by the way and said, please, let me come into you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. So she said, what will you give me that you may come into me? And he said, I will send a young goat from the flock. So she said, will you give me a pledge till you send it? Then he said, what pledge shall I give you? So she said, your signet and cord, and your staff that is in your hand. Then he gave them to her, and went in to her, and she conceived by him. So she arose and went away, and laid aside her veil, and put on the garments of her widowhood. Verse 20. And Judah sent the young goat by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he did not find her. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, where is the harlot who was openly by the roadside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. So she has all of Judah's possessions, his signet, his cord, and his staff. So he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. Also, the men of the place said, there was no harlot in this place. Then Judah said, let her take them for herself, lest we be shamed, meaning let her have it. For I sent this young goat, and you have not found her. And it came to pass, about 3 months after, that Judah was told, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot. Furthermore, she is with child by harlotry, meaning that she had a child outside of wedlock or outside of a husband, or that she was out prostituting herself. So Judah said, bring her out and let her be burned. When she was brought out, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, hold on. She said, oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just say this. By the man to whom these belong, I am with child. This is his kid. And she said, please determine whose these are. The signet and cord and staff. Who does this belong to? So Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah, my son. And he never knew her again. Now it came to pass at the time for giving birth that, behold, twins were in her womb. And so it was, when she was giving birth, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and bound it on his hand, saying, this one came out first. Then it happened, as he drew back his hand, that his brother came out unexpectedly. And she said, how did you break through? This breach be upon you. Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterward his brother came out, who had the scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. That was chapter 38 in the book of Genesis. Let's go into chapter 39. That goes back talking about, that was chapter 38 by itself. 39 and 40 will be together. Amen. We have just read chapter 38 in the book of Genesis. We closed out with Tamar having kids by Judah, her father-in-law, and one of the sons was named Perez, and the other was named and the other one was named Zerah or Zerah. Amen. So we'll be getting into chapters 39 and 40. Again, this is the reading for Wednesday, October the 5th, day 25. Amen. Amen.